All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this really fascinating part of Japanese aesthetics. Something that, lives in the quiet and the dark. We're talking about the allure of nocturnal Japan, this whole unique vibe that's actually shaped by the moon. It seems like a simple question, right? But it totally gets to the heart of what we're digging into today. I mean, think about it. We live in a world that's just obsessed with the brightest lights, everything on full display. But here, we're going to look at a culture that finds real, deep meaning in things that are hidden, things that are in the shadows, things you can only just barely see. Okay, so let's start this journey. There's this, I guess you could call it an enigmatic allure to Japan once the sun sets, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack.
When you picture Japan at night, your mind probably jumps straight to the dazzling neon of Tokyo, right? Or maybe Osaka. But that's only one side of the coin. There's this much older, much deeper cultural vibe going on. A real, genuine reverence for the night itself. And it's not about, the absence of light. It's about a totally different kind of light. That soft, almost magical glow of the moon.
So, you might be asking, where does all this come from? Well, right at the heart of this whole nocturnal world is a really key figure from Japanese mythology.
And here he is, Tsukuyomi no Mikoto. In the Shinto tradition, Tsukuyomi is the deity of, you guessed it, the moon and the night. The name itself is pretty cool. It literally translates to moon reading. And that points back to the ancient practice of measuring time and keeping calendars by watching the phases of the moon. This deity, Tsukuyomi, is really our anchor point for getting a grip on this whole aesthetic.
But Tsukuyomi isn't just about the physical moon you see in the sky. No, it's way more than that. This deity embodies that deep connection we have to the celestial cycles. That steady, predictable rhythm of the cosmos. It represents the quiet order, that serene beauty of the nighttime, and of course, all the mystique and magic that we all kind of feel when we're out in the dark.
And this isn't just some abstract idea, right? This deep reverence for a moon deity has a really tangible impact on the culture. So let's take a look at how this whole idea of moonlight beauty actually shows up in Japanese art and folklore.
Okay, this slide right here is so important. On the one hand, you've got an aesthetic we're all pretty familiar with. It's all about direct light, clarity, seeing everything perfectly. But on the other hand, this moonlight aesthetic, well, it completely flips that. It's all about subtlety, about shadow, and the power of what's just implied or hinted at. The beauty isn't in what you see, it's in what your imagination has to fill in.
And you really do see this everywhere in traditional Japanese arts. Think about ink wash paintings, for instance. A lot of the time, the focus isn't even on what's painted, but on the power of the empty space around it. That's a concept called ma. That negative space is just as crucial as the brushstrokes themselves. It's all about an appreciation for the nuance you find in the shadows, for the elegance of things that aren't, screaming for your attention.
And when you look at folklore, man, it's even more obvious. The night isn't seen as empty or scary. It's alive. It's this whole other realm where spirits, the yokai, can come out, where magic feels real, and the world just seems full of secrets. And who's watching over all of this? That calm, steady presence of the moon, of Tsukuyomi. All right, let's bring this all home. We're going to see how all these threads weave together into one really powerful single idea about what beauty is.
So if there's one core idea to take away from all this, it's this right here. The whole aesthetic we've been talking about is about appreciating what's hidden, what's veiled. It's a kind of beauty that doesn't just show you everything all at once. It makes you lean in. It invites you to look closer, to use your imagination, and to find that elegance in the spaces between the light.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the essence of our whole journey today, from the moon god Tsukuyomi all the way to the art and folklore that he inspires. It's all about that enduring mystique, a special way of seeing the world that finds incredible depth and beauty, where other people might just see, well, darkness.
And that brings us to the end, but I want to leave you with this thought. The next time you're outside at night, try to look past the bright streetlights for a second. Just look at the way the moonlight falls, look at the shadows it creates, at all the things it hides, and just ask yourself, what if the most beautiful things are the ones we can't see completely?